Hey, this is Here the Review Guess the Game, starring Canadian Matt, the Quizmaster, and American Matt, the
What's up?
Answer Giver. He's going to be competing against you at home. If you're listening to the audio version, I pointed for extra effect. So you're going to try and guess the game before Matt can do it. The first time we did this, Matt waited very politely when I read out Overwatch. And I always remember you saying, "Me and everyone at home, shout out Overwatch." And you were so happy you got it right. But that's not the way to do it. You want to go fast, real fast. We're both in a version of the Resident Evil Mansion. Right now, I'm just figuring out what to do with this puzzle. Well, I don't know. Maybe they're linked somehow. I can go through my painting and get into yours. So, there's no real theme other than a lot of these games are rated highly. Although this first one I'm going to read off to you, a lot of people are giving it. It's a little bit divisive, actually, but it's the first hint I'll give for this first one is that it's new. Oh, if you've never played this, I just read excerpts from people's reviews of games, and you and Matt try to guess them. I'm completely ripping off Game Informer's Back of the Box Trivia Show, but putting a slight spin on it. Reviews. All right, this is a new game. This game is an excellent Metroidvania whose underwater setting gives the genre a nice
Song
twist.
of the Deep.
Hey, all right. That was from US Gamer. A 90 they gave it.
Yeah, I think they're actually, I saw that review earlier. They might be the only, I haven't seen another one yet, but I was eager to catch up on that just because it was Game Trust's first game that they published out there, GameStop's new publishing venture. So
Yeah.
I was eager to see, and I think is that from Insomniac?
That is
Song
from
of the Deep?
Insomniac.
Yeah, so I'm really glad to see that did well.
That's right, and we weren't expecting Game Trust or GameStop to put out like an indie darling type of game. You would have thought they would have went with something, I don't know, just something that screams money more than this.
Yeah, like a military shooter or something.
Yeah, military shooter with loot crates and Game Informer gave it a 70.
Okay.
They said it's beautiful. Yeah. They don't really give many details here. Slant Magazine gave it an 80. All right, let's move on. This one is also pretty new. This review gave it a 100, by the way.
Oh my.
It's rare that
It's inside.
It is, yeah. Hey, all right.
That's the only newish game that's come out in recent memory that's gotten perfect scores from more than one publication. So I figured if it's got a 100, it has to, and it's recent, it had to be inside. I guess it could have been Overwatch or something like that, but we already covered that one.
That's right. Yeah, Digital Spy gave it a 100. US Gamer gave it a 100. Gaming Trend a 90. All right.
See, that's what you get for telling me to be more aggressive.
Wow, Matt, you're like just a programmable machine ready to kill. They actually had a nice review. They said, it's rare that a game can be beautiful, gruesome, tense, and exhilarating all at the same time. But Inside does just that. Its 6 years in the making really show. It might just be a side-scroller on paper, but it's so polished and well put together that it's a showcase of Playdead's mastery. It's captivating and moving, gory and bleak, but ultimately Inside is a piece of art from the first stumbling steps to the closing credits. I can't wait to play that, but I don't have an Xbox. But it's on the PC, so maybe I can swing it. All right, this next one is not new. It's from a series, and I'm going to need the exact number of this entry, please. Yeah, all right. First review from GameSpot gave it a 100. All right. Actually, this isn't GameSpot. I'm going to give you a different one. 99 they gave it. The levels are bigger. The trick catalog is more plentiful. The number of goals per level has been doubled. And the already stunning gameplay has been honed even further. That's tough. Levels are bigger. Trick catalog is more plentiful. The number of goals per level has been doubled.
Let's hear something else.
All right. GameSpot gave it a 100 and said, the best skateboarding game ever and one of the greatest PlayStation games of all time.
Skate 2?
No! All right, we'll give the people at home a couple seconds.
Skateboarding game.
Skateboarding game.
It's not a Ollie Ollie 2?
No, the greatest PlayStation game of all time. Skateboarding game.
Oh, like original PlayStation.
Yeah, PS1,
Tony,
baby.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater?
Yes, but which one?
The original? Or,
The levels are bigger.
ha. The second one.
Number 2, Tony Hawk 2.
Easy.
Oh, I threw you off with PlayStation.
Yeah, and I'm also, I was
And you're
kind of
obsessed with Ollie
omitting-
Ollie.
I am, and I was omitting the fact that you told me it was in
Older?
the description that they were saying that it was bigger, like implying that it was not the first.
Yeah.
In my mind, I remember the first Tony Hawk Pro Skater much more fondly than I do the second one. The second one, I understand why everybody thinks it's superior in every way, and I played that one on Dreamcast too, so my memory is kind of muddied.
With that gray
But
controller.
yeah, I remember the first one much more fondly anyway.
Yeah, that was when I was in high school, their older brother offered to mod my PlayStation. And that was the first game I got on a burnt disc.
Nice.
But it wasn't the awesome chip mod. It was like, here's a little spring, and you put it where this little stick comes down that tells the PlayStation that the disc is closed. And then you put a Game Shark in the back, and you put another game in first, and then you swap it. It was really, really irritating. I was so crushed when his brother brought me Chrono Cross home, and I was like, oh, I've got so much time. I'm going to play Chrono Cross. And it didn't understand which disc I had in. So all I could see was the title screen and the opening CG. And it just said, please insert disc 1. Please buy the game.
Right.
All right, this game is a mid to late in the 2000s. G4 TV gave it a 100.
Oh my.
The important thing is that after many years of frustrating missions, driving back home to save repeatedly, struggling with wonky physics, and dealing with farcical storylines, this one has delivered a polished and almost fully renovated experience with a darker and more mature treatment of the subject matter.
No idea.
Access gave it a 100 and said, it's a landmark game, unmatched and unrivaled and absolutely unmissable. We've not talked about the belly-achingly funny radio shows, great licensed music, fantastic voice acting, the cabaret shows, the strip clubs, the restaurants, the zeitgeist-tapping plot, or even the guest appearances and cameos. All that you can find out for yourself.
What the heck are they talking about?
Giant Bomb gave it a 100. Rather than try to outdo the Crackdowns and the Saints Rows of the world with bigger land masses and more missions, this company went the other way and managed to craft an amazingly impactful story and weave it into an open-world game in an incredibly meaningful way, all without losing the heart and soul of what makes this series so popular in the first place.
Is it Grand Theft Auto 4?
Yes, it is.
Aha.
Game Shark also gave it a 100. Moving on. Yeah?
Game Shark. I'm not used to
Yeah.
looking those guys up for my reviews.
This is from the same era. Game Reactor in Denmark also gave it a 100. Not often I get lost in a game like I did with this one. Everything about this game screams quality and adventure. While this company hasn't exactly got a track record for delivering bug-free games at launch, this has been a pleasant, polished, and amazing experience so far. A much improved third-person view, amazing music, a living, breathing world, a menu system that's amazing, and a game filled with interesting stuff to do.
Is it Skyrim?
Yes, it is. All right. Big Pond Game Arena also gave it a 100
Wow.
and said, kiss the rest of your life goodbye.
Man.
I think this one's going to be a little more tough. This is for the original PlayStation.
Okay.
A better-than-arcade overall game translation here that will truly stand the test of time and perhaps be the best fighter we will ever see released on the original PlayStation. That was a 97 from Absolute PlayStation. GamePro, another 100. In order to outshine Tekken... Damn it.
Haha. Was it Tekken 2 or Tekken 3?
Which one do you think?
Honestly, I'm going to say Tekken 2.
Wrong.
Crap.
Tekken 3.
I was going to, at first, I was thinking rival schools, and then I was going to ask you if it was a part of a series,
Right.
like a numbered series on PlayStation. If you had said yes, then Tekken was going to be the obvious answer anyway.
I had Tekken 3 on the original PlayStation. It was pretty damn great. It looked so good. It was so
Yeah.
smooth. I almost don't want to see it again. I don't want to have that ruined for me. I know when Tekken Tag Tournament came out for the PS2, that was actually better than the arcade version. And that was probably one of the first times we saw that happen. That was the big shift. I like EGM's excerpt, the spectacular sequel that confirmed the hatred gamers felt for Paul. And I don't know if they had it in Tekken 2, but in Tekken 3 they had these sort of super charge-up moves where they would kind of go into a slow animation and then bam, it was an unblockable. That was in Tekken 3. All right, next game. From Combo with a K, it gave it a 96. Every component of this game stands as a unique triumph in modern game design and serves as powerful representation of what's possible when you have one of the most talented and dedicated developers in the industry working at the top of their game. GameZone gave it a 94. Finding another collection that matches the quality of this one is next to impossible. EGM gave it a 98. This is the greatest quantity of quality gaming ever. Even at $60, this box is value priced to the point of philanthropy.
Is this something more modern?
It's more modern than Tekken 3. But it's less modern than Inside. Worth Playing gave it a 97. Each component of the package has moderate to minor flaws, but as a whole of historical significance and truly unique, entirely innovative contemporary game design. The orange box is pretty damn close. Damn it. God damn it.
Man, you're off your game.
Yeah. I'm just so into reading it. Well, hopefully somebody at home got that before us.
That would have been a tough one. And that's weird because the orange box was so... That is seriously one of the best single boxed collections that's ever been released.
Yeah. You know, I've never played Portal.
Oh my God, you have to.
I know, that's the general reaction I get, is that it's not, people don't even tell me, they don't even say it's good anymore. Like, you just need to do it. And the first one's pretty short, right?
Yeah. I regularly, not regularly, I have in the past with consistency beat it in a single sitting. It might take you your first playthrough because you're going to be encountering the puzzles for the first time.
Yeah.
But it's awesome and hilarious and mind-bending, and it's going to make you feel like a genius, and you will laugh out loud. And it sets up the second game, which is after you beat the first game, you're going to wonder how this could be so, but it's better in every single aspect and regard. And those are can't-miss games. They are part of the modern gaming zeitgeist that you have to, like, you owe it to yourself to play those games.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Matt's glowing review there made up for my burning gaff. I don't even know where you would play that. I don't know if was the orange box released on PS3? Yep. Yeah, PS3, Xbox 360, PC.
Yeah, I guess
probably
that'd
Mac
be the best
as well.
place to do it.
All right. I mean, I can grab Portal, even my old PC, and probably my Mac could run Portal 1 and 2. Okay. This PlayStation Official Magazine Australia gave it 100. If you're for the West, you will latch on to this game like an ornery rattlesnake. If the Old West is of no particular interest to you, you still ought to find it difficult.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, that's right. Coming to Xbox One via backwards compatibility. Everybody ran out and bought it, too, before it was even available, actually, just after the announcement of it.
Yeah, they said sales of the game were up like 6,000% on Amazon.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good. That's a nice one to see. Xbox is doing really, really well in terms of bringing the good stuff to the people.
Yeah, they are.
All right, another slightly older classic. GMR Magazine gave it a 100. The Crystals return to the series, along with a 4-member party. Blue Magic and Black Mages.
Well, it sounds like a Final Fantasy for sure.
Happy Puppy gave it a 95, but for the feel of nostalgia bolstered by the still capable technology of the PlayStation, this game can make you feel actual delight, something that's tough to do in these cynical times.
Sounds like Final Fantasy 9.
Yes, you got it. I'm playing it right now, and I love it. It's great. I'm on disc 2. I'm
pretty jealous. I want to hop into that.
It's worth it, man. It holds up. There are a lot of random battles, and they happen a little too frequently sometimes. But the story's really great. I haven't even gotten to the part where the game opens up. Right now, it's been pretty closely linear with the story, but I still really enjoy it. It's actually got a really nice mystery to it. I'm actually coming to one of the first openings up of the mystery. All right, another older classic. PSX Nation gave it a 99. A solid story. Inventive gameplay mechanisms, both third and first person views. Wow, what features? A slew of spy equipment, awesome weapons, unique emotional plot, and stealth make this game one of PlayStation's greatest games ever.
Metal Gear Solid?
That's right.
Aha.
That's right. I remember when I think it was either IGN or GameSpot gave it a 7 and the other one gave it a 10. And there's some people that came down on that game at the time because it was very non-interactive and the second half drags a little. But it's still a classic. I mean, whatever number you give it, it's a really important game and it's really fun. So
yeah,
what's it matter? All right, this is another older classic. Computer Games Magazine gave it a 100. The large cast of characters is unforgettable, although for the most part they are skeletons in 40s garb with mask-like faces that can be attributed to Day of the Dead festivities. I bet you someone's already got this one, Matt. Their personalities render them as distinct and memorable as members of an extremely diverse cast for many fine films.
Is this Grim Fandango?
That's right. Yeah, I bet you somebody got that one. I feel like I gave it away too early. As soon as it said skeletons. What was going through your mind when I said skeletons in 40s garb?
I'm not sure. It wasn't until you really said Day of the Dead style that it kind of clicked that I was Grim Fandango.
You played any of that one? I played it a bit. I think I got it on PlayStation Plus or maybe just cheap, and I didn't get too far. I solved some of the puzzles, but it didn't really hook into me.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing. I have it in my PS Plus library, but I didn't even bother to download it and fire it up. My backlog was just still is staring me in the face every day of my life, so I got to get through some stuff before I
That's what you see.
Get onto
you
games
look
like
in the
that.
mirror after you wash your face and you just see Half-Life Episode 2.
Exactly.
To finish it.
I did finish that actually. I'm
Nice.
I'm one of the people waiting on episode 3.
What's sitting in your backlog right now? What's the most pressing thing when you say backlog? What do you think?
The most pressing, the most immediately pressing is Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Oh crap!
Because I've like moved. There's been more stuff. I started Fury, and so that's sitting there waiting on me. Bloodborne is still waiting on me. Almost the entire campaign for Bloodborne. Lots of stuff actually. A ton of stuff on my Vita and my 3DS. I have 3 Phoenix Wright games to get through on my 3DS, and that's enough. That everything I just listed would carry me through until Persona 5 comes out easily.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I looked at my little backlog. I made a little thing. I came up with a whiteboard because I thought, if I need something to play, I'll just look over and see what I need to do. And I think I had Morrowind on there, and then I just laughed.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah,
that's enough.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get through that. All right, moving on. This one's for you, Matt. Yahoo Games gives it a 100. A feast of atmospheric entertainment. While it might tire after a while, you'll likely get your money's worth long before that point, and more so if you venture into the chaos that is this game server, where life takes on a whole new meaning and the hours slip mysteriously away. This is a landmark game. GameSpot gives it an... Feel free to interrupt. GameSpot...
I'm going to guess Diablo 2 right off the bat.
Ooh, you're so close.
Oh.
I mean, I think originally when we play this game, I say sequels don't matter because I think that's nitpicky. It was Diablo 1.
Aha.
Was there anything that made you guess 2 out of that?
Just because that's the game that I think most people devoted countless hours of their lives to online, more so than the first one. The first one was also out on PlayStation and maybe Sega Saturn, maybe not. It was definitely out on PlayStation. It wasn't a game that you necessarily had to experience online, whereas Diablo 2, I would say the kind of the definitive experience was logging on to battle.net and going through those campaigns with people and getting rushed and building the perfect classes and hunting for those items and the player economy, all the best things about that game for me and for people who really spent way too much time playing were online.
That was a game being a youngster and hanging out at the computer store and revering the older guys that worked there. And he was telling me that Diablo 2 was coming out, and he said goodbye to his life.
Hmm.
Like he was going to kill himself. But I think he just meant he was going to kill his social life. And I didn't know anything about it. I just kept looking at the box and the poster. Moving on, Cinemite gave this a 100. This character slices himself amazingly through gods and their minions. This game is the Olympus of action games.
Sounds like God of War 3 right off the bat.
That's right, God of War 3. I still haven't played it.
You gotta.
You have recommended this thing big time to me. And I haven't even got through it at all. It's just sitting there, just waiting. That's all I have for you, my friend.
Wow.
Wonder how
That was a fairly easy round, I say.
Yeah. I felt like sometimes... I think what made it easier was that I found better review excerpts for you. Whereas before, I would just sort of look at the Metacritic thing and bop around, and I wasn't really finding anything great off the bat. You know, it was kind of like hit or miss.
Yeah, and the games weren't too obscure. You also, explicitly named a few of them out loud, so that helped quite a bit.
That'll have to do with it. Yeah, I went for... I clicked on the top-rated games and then quickly went down. So I think those games are so much more in the upfront in the memory because they... like I've never played God of War 3, but I could get it. I could guess it from that. So that was a more encompassing one. Heck, even my mom, who's listening to this, hi mom, will probably, she might even get a couple of them.
Yeah, it might be worth it. It might be kind of fun too to go and try to find the worst reviewed games and see if those would be easy to guess.
That'll be next week. Yeah,
Sweet.
like criminally bad games. Like what's the most annoyingly or obviously bad game? I remember I think it's when a game comes out and it looks like it's going to be great and then it falls on its face. Those are the ones you really remember. Perfect Weapon was a game that was supposed to be really great for the original PlayStation. You played a guy. It was an action beat 'em up, but the whole point of the game is that you're fighting 4 to 5 guys at a time in a fully 3D sort of environment. And like they framed it like a martial arts movie, like he would be spinning around kicking a guy in the gut and then elbowing the other guy at the face at the same time. And everybody was really excited for it, and it ended up being just a clunky piece of crap. And now that's just so common. But I think the problem with those, the games now, though, for me anyway, I know a lot of people like Batman and Mad Max uses a similar system. It's, I guess it just takes a lot of the challenge out of it when you can just sort of spam a button and try to time it. But I find a lot of gaming now is more like an eventuality than a challenge. I couldn't beat Dark Souls 3, and you could, right? You beat it.
I did.
Here you go. That's an achievement. Forget the achievement Xbox gives you when you complete the tutorial. Forget that. I'm talking and maybe I could have done it. Maybe I couldn't have.
You could have. You just didn't want to devote the time to it.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, could I become a black belt in karate if I just devoted the time to it? Maybe. Dark Souls 3 beat me mentally. Because the longer I stayed away from it, the more intimidating it became.
Yeah.
And that's what that game's all about, is the bosses might not even be as hard as you think. They're just so large. That's the only time you hear music, and it's this full-on onslaught of the devil choir screaming in your face. And that's what gets you, is the intimidation factor. So maybe I could have got back in, but every day away, I felt like I'm getting worse. I'm not going to remember where to go. And then I had to go, I got to that beautiful, what's that, something Boreal Valley? That gorgeous area where you see the bridge.
Like kind of the snowy area?
Yeah, that glowing city. It looks like a snow globe.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
I got there, and then I hit that area where I needed a special key, and I had to go back and find these bosses that I'd skipped over.
Yeah.
By accident, and it was running through that blasted forest again, and those giant crabs.
Yep.
And then the sorcerer people. But there's still so many memories of the game, and I still feel like I had a really great experience with it. But it just, it beat me, And I don't think Batman Arkham Knight or Arkham City is the kind of game that would ever beat anybody, or most AAA games for the most part, and definitely most Ubisoft games. these games that are like, well, just take our hand and let's go for a little walk, and I'll show you some things. And it's like reading a kid a bedtime story. And then you won, and you were the best, and you leveled up, and you got all these perks, and then you were even better than before. So there you go. You got an episode of Hear the Review, Guess the Game. You got some philosophical musings on gaming in general. So Matt, what is the next game you're playing when you get some free time? What is it going to be? Tokyo Mirage Sharp Font Evolution?
No, I would like that. We're out in Nashville house sitting away from home, so I did bring one console with me, but I brought my PS4. I'll have to see how that works out. I'm not sure how the internet connection will be. There's one serviceable TV upstairs, and it's a kind of a trek away from the router, so I'm not sure what the connection will be like out there. If it doesn't work out, I may make the trek back home to swap out for my Wii U.
Yep.
But I'll be doing some mobile gaming for sure. I'm still blasting through Brave Exvius, and that's been a wonderful grind fest. And I'll be playing a lot of 3DS. I'll be going back doing some challenges in Rhythm Heaven. I'm always doing that. I'll be playing some more Kirby, playing at Robobot. Right. Catching up on some Picross and stuff like that, and blasting through some Hot Shots Golf.
Right.
World Invitational.
Right. Maybe we should try that sometime tonight to try to get some of that multiplayer going, because I could use something to cleanse my palate. For me, it's been all Final Fantasy IX. Going to bed with that. I find playing the Vita in bed actually puts me to sleep a lot more than before when I have a computer with me or a phone. Maybe it's just like less bright, or maybe it's the watching of the cutscenes, or like going like this when I'm do my little turn-based battles. And I've mapped all the buttons so I can play the whole thing one-handed. And you can actually add different buttons to the touchscreen on the front of the Vita.
Oh, nice.
So I have L and L2 are the action and the cancel. And then I've got the top left corner is triangle when I want to get into my menu. And then top left, and then bottom left is select, because that brings up the handy little help menu. And that's pretty sweet. The only thing I can't do is rotate the cameras, and I could use an R button when you're doing when you're cycling through the characters in your inventory. That would be useful. That, and then I still got to pop into Mass Effect before I lose steam on that.
There you go.
And I grab.
Man, you're in some deep and long RPGs right now.
Yeah, I keep grabbing these big games all the time. I also have.
I'm doing it too.
I grabbed Deus Ex, Human Revolution, the director's cut. Yep. Oh yeah, lots to work through. Much work to get done. Sorry, Dark Souls 3. You beat me into the arms of other games. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for popping in. We'll talk to you guys later.